In the top stories, a view that Barbadians may soon have to pay for secondary education. A community leader is honored for his work with the disabled, and Barbados struggle in their first FIFA World Cup qualifier. Welcome to Nation News for Monday, March 23rd, 2015. I'm Natasha Beckles.
No matter where you are in the world, at home or abroad, Nation News keeps you connected with what's happening in Barbados through our website, video newscast, and online e-papers. So stay connected with Nation News. Your news, your time, your way.
As the debate continues over the introduction of tuition fees at the University of the West Indies, there is a view that other education fees will soon be introduced. Queen's Counsel Pat Cheltenham says the days of free education at the secondary level may soon be a thing of the past, with many schools' utility bills in arrears. The long-standing member of the Law School Board says schools are struggling to provide basic supplies for both students and staff, and the situation is so serious that children may soon have to take to school their own soap and toilet paper. He made the comments over the weekend at the launch of the Foundation O Scholars Scholarship Fund. Broadcaster and community worker Kerrison Small has been recognized for his work with the disabled and disadvantaged. On Monday, he was presented with his insignia for the award of Member of the Order of the British Empire, or MBE, by Governor General Sir Elliot Belgrave at Government House. Mr. Small, who is visually impaired, told Nation News he was honored and would continue in his work. Prime Minister Frundell Stewart says Barbados will soon become a republic. Speaking during a meeting hosted by the Democratic Labour Party's St. George South branch on Sunday, he said this is the next major step in the process of nationhood. This process, he said, started with independence and continued with the switch from Britain's Privy Council to the Caribbean Court of Justice. Mr. Stewart said Barbados already meets the requirements, including the practice of the people choosing their leaders.
We're a republic in substance, but we are a monarchy in form. And we now have to bring form into some kind of consistent relationship with substance. And we can only do that by moving Barbados from this monarchical form to a republican form. And the Democratic Labour Party is going to do that.
Senior Superintendent of Police Lybrand Sobers has served notice that the force will be cleaning up lawlessness in its northern division. Speaking during a meeting for people with businesses in St. Thomas, St. Andrew, and St. Joseph on Sunday, he said by the end of the year there should be no lawlessness on blocks in that jurisdiction.
We have increased the number of community police officers to assist us in this. Our community officers will be talk to the person on the block. We've already asked you at the church service in St. Andrew on the 8th of this month to allow the community officers into your own homes, into your businesses, sit down and talk. It might not be safe for you to approach the police or the police approach you on the streets. Everybody seeing you talk to the police. Whether you're telling the police that the sun shining or not, they'll say that you tell the police something. The lawlessness, call us, tell us, okay, we will have it.
25 Barbadians suffering with diabetes are participating in a study to see if their condition can be reversed. If they succeed, the pilot project will be expanded regionally. Word of this came over the weekend during the annual general meeting of the Diabetes Association of Barbados. The study is based on a project undertaken last year at the University of Newcastle in England, where 7 of 11 participants became diabetes-free through diet and weight loss. Some Barbadians have been complaining that they are unable to find spots on some of the island's beaches because of the number of beach chairs and umbrellas being rented to visitors. When Nation News visited some of the popular South and West Coast beaches, the businessmen responsible said tourism is what's keeping the island afloat. While they admitted that their products are in high demand, they said there is still space for locals to jog, exercise, or simply relax. People from all walks of life gathered at the James Street Methodist Church on Saturday morning to say a final farewell to founder of the School for the Blind and Deaf, Irvin Wilson. His son Delandro said the retired educator's mission was to improve the lot of the visually and hearing impaired. The body of the 96-year-old was interred at the Westbury Cemetery following the service. A car was destroyed by a fire of unknown origin in the Welch's St. Michael Car Park of Cost-du-Lest on Sunday afternoon. One eyewitness reported hearing a sound as if the car was starting, and when he checked to see if it was occupied, it burst into flames. Police and fire officials responded to the blaze. In sport, Barbados did not make a good start to the FIFA World Cup 2018 qualifying campaign. On Sunday night at the National Stadium, Barbados were beaten 1-0 by United States Virgin Islands. The team was also hurt by 2 missed penalties and the expulsion of Jomo Harris. And finally, we usually rely on fire extinguishers to protect us, but who protects the fire extinguishers? It's a question firefighters will have to ask themselves after a huge blaze erupted at a fire extinguisher factory on Chicago's southwest side on Thursday night. About 150 firefighters battled the blaze, which burned for hours but didn't spread past the building. No injuries were reported. And that's Nation News for Monday. For more news, log on to nationnews.com, as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Remember to pick up your Daily Nation on Tuesday or subscribe to our e-paper. Thanks for joining us.